Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my family, all brothers and sisters, this is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, my family. Hey, the topic today is Pan-Africans or the Pan-African mindset really trying to convince African Americans to go to Africa? Is there a pressure? Is there some type of uh, ridicule or ostracizing people if they don't go to the motherland? You see, there seems to me to be this trend that's going on, and people are starting to find out some truths when they're getting over to the motherland. Now, Africa may not be for everybody, but Africa is meant for everybody. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people that I'm seeing and hearing who are talking about going to Africa are making some serious commitments. How do you make a serious commitment and want to go to a continent that you've never been before, and you can pack up your bags and you can go off the whim of the advice of others? I don't know, but I tell you this right here. It comes a time that we as a people have to really do some soul searching, because what I'm seeing today is that people are running off of other people's words and their advice, and they want to go ahead and make decisions off of somebody's own perception of what they believe they should be doing. Now, I posted some videos today because there's some issues going on in Gambia. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And there are those who are dissatisfied. There are people who are basically casting mud on other people and stating that, you know, there's some misinformation, some fraud scams going on. Things aren't the way that they were told. And this, who takes the responsibility for that? Is it just one side, or do you yourself take the responsibility? How is it that you could decide to go to another continent because somebody told you that it's this, that, and this, and you can pack up your stuff and go? Well, speaking from experience, I'm gonna say this right here. Africa is just no different than America. You have your ghetto sides, you have your plush sides, you know, you have your in-between sides. And like I said before, every country is different. Every country has its own flavor. Depending on your lifestyle, you best find a country that is for you. Because if you're living a comfortable life, if the word comfortable means anything to you, I don't know what that means, but if you're living a life that is a middle income or a higher income or above, and you want to go to Gambia, it may not sit well with you. This is from my experience being over there in Gambia. And that's nothing against Gambia. I like Gambia because it's a laid back place. I like Gambia because it's just a place that if you want to kick back, retire, kind of be to yourself, be out there in the bush somewhere, it's a place for you, and it's for some people. But are you used to being near a big city, the hustle bustle, a lot of activities you can get involved with? You know, it's not the place for you. I'm noticing that from a few families and people who have YouTubes, these people are suffering from the so-called culture shock. Now, I will say this right here. I'm going to say that this culture shock that a lot of people are experiencing is causing some mental issues. We have to understand that before you go into a new environment, you have to go ahead and take on a psychological detox. You're going to have to be able to put yourself in a position to where you're able to or are able to navigate through some hardships. This is what it's about. Now, I've been in the military 20 years. My dad did 22 years, so I moved everywhere. I am so used to being able to uproot. I'm used to going without water, without having a toilet to dump when you got to use the bathroom, going out there behind a tree. We had to do that in the military. I'm used to when electricity goes out. I'm used to dealing with some bugs. I'm used to a lot of that things. But a lot of us in America, we're kind of comfortable. Now, for those who wants to go to Gambia or live out there in some wildlife out in Ghana or any other country that is, just be prepared. Because here it is that this Pan-African mindset of these words that I'm hearing, B1s, on codes, and all this stuff that people are getting want to be tied to, or give themselves this identity. What we have lost our minds. We are people that want to be so tied with some group that we will go and fall for anything. You have to stand on your own 2 feet at any given time of life. If you're not able to, then okay, well then you might gravitate to those that you feel that empowers you, motivates you, encourages you. But sometimes that weight gets a little heavy on the person who's doing it, and you might find yourself alienated. You might find that person's going to go ahead and just give you the kaboot. What do you do now? Because we want to gravitate to places and countries, to the continent, and some people are finding out they can't even find the person who was telling them all about the place. Now go get that one. How an individual is going to sit here and tell you that they are inviting you over to a country thousands of miles away and they're not there to greet you. It doesn't make no sense to me. That's not hospitality. That's not respect. That is not integrity. That's not even being honest. And so this Pan-African mindset that we're talking about, sticking together and building unity and all that stuff right there, y'all, for those who are younger than I'm 54 years old, okay? This conversation has been existing since the day I was born. And ain't nothing ever changed. Now you got your pockets and groups of people who are doing well. But for as a unity as a bigger scale, for the 40 million blacks here in America, it's just not going to happen. Why? Because we are all broken down in various groups. Everybody's doing their own thing. And now we have this movement wanting to go back to Africa, and people are seriously contemplating whether or not they want to go. I say, if you want to go venture to Africa, do a group tour. Do a group tour. Find a group tour, a black group tour, number one for that one. All right. If you want to do Ghana, okay. I went on Bomani Timba's group tour that was in Ghana. Now he does Ethiopia, he does Tanzania, he does the East and the West. He does South Africa. All right. And his website is African for the Africans. So Africa for the Africans, this is the tour that the brother does. Go on a group tour, then run off to by yourself to a country, going to go ahead and hope that a person is going to be there to greet you with open arms, and that the picture that they drew is not exactly what it is. And so we have to be careful when we're getting and listening to these pro-black Pan-African mindsets. If you ever met a brother who's pro-African, I'm pro-African. But I got a little common sense when it comes to some stability and some mental thinking on my own accord. A lot of people don't have that today. And it's sad to say that today, there's very few elders who's able to even give you some sound advice. And that's what my channel is for, is to be able to wake people up, to bring awareness to the continent of Africa. Because I've already said, Africa's not for everybody. Africa is not for everybody that thinks that, hey, I can go and be around our own people. You're going to find when you get to Africa, Africa has the China man there, the Indian man there, the European man there. Everybody's there. And I don't see any problem with it. But these people who wants to sit there and shame it like, oh, the Chinese are taking over this and that. Well, you know what? Let's talk about America for a second. How many Chinamen is out here in America? In the black communities? How much of your hard-earned dollars do you turn over to the Chinese food, to the beauty salon shops, of buying your hair products, your wigs, your weaves, your nails, the nail shops? How much money do we give them here in America The Pakistanians, the Indians, the Lebanese, they are owning all the convenience stores. They're owning all of the small clothing stores that we go to and give our money. But as soon as somebody want to talk about, yeah, they're taking over Africa, they're everywhere here in America. You got your Chinatown, your Jamaican town, you got your Italian side of the town, you got your African side of the town, you got all these sides of towns that we have here in America, but people want to shame Africa and make it seem as though that other countries are coming in to take over. Now, being that I'm military, see, I got experience to understand. If you even know about America, America is planted in so many countries. They got military bases in practically half of the countries out here in the world. And we all trade with one another. Don't be trying to be so pro-black that you want to keep your money with black people. No, there is nothing wrong with trading with other people. Nothing at all trading with other people. That's how you build. I'll say this right here. I've had 3 barber beauty shops and I had a beauty supply store. I've had white people come in my shop. I had white people come and buy supplies from my shop. If I kept it black only, I would have been broke. That's where I made my wealth at. A huge amount of my wealth when it comes to open it up for everybody. I'm not going to put a sign on blacks only. Why? Because we got to get out of this mindset of this pro-African B1 on code thing and really get to a common sense thing. I hate to say common sense because there ain't no common sense. I'm going to say we need to go ahead and renew our minds because people are making decisions going far away to a country and a continent and finding out this might not be the place for them. Now, I can speak on the 5 countries I've been to, and I've enjoyed every last one of them. Some that I know that I'm not going to go move to. It's just not me. I'm sorry, and I'll admit it. Hey, I'm a little spoiled in the way I live. I'm not living in a country who ain't got no electricity going off and on, water's turned off. You got to go ahead and fight through the muddy roads when the government don't even care or not doing anything to help and assist their people in the infrastructure of a country. Why would you want to go move to a place like that? And then you think you're going to help out? Let's kill all this talk about we got to go over and help Africa. Y'all, come on. Somebody come on and chime in. Somebody come on in here because, hey, I need somebody to go ahead and let's have some conversation, some dialogue, because this is not making sense to me. That we can go all the way over to Africa. Everybody's pro-African now. And then all of a sudden now people are starting to complain. Now I'm hearing people saying, I don't know if I want to go now. You're going to let people who are over in Africa, who has a bad experience by being in one little city out of 54 countries, make a decision or give you plant a seed in your mind that you don't want to go visit the continent. Or you see people have a bad experience because they were dealt with some shady deals maybe, and all of a sudden now they have put out there that there might be some foul things going on, and now all of a sudden it scares you and you want to stay away from it. We got to wake up. We got to move out of this whole mindset. I'm pushing Africa for people to go visit, then possibly think about go living. But if you don't do your homework, then where is it going to leave you? I've been going to Africa for the last 5 years, and I'm getting close to right now about to purchase property. But it took me 5 years of homework because there are some things I just do not feel right with Africa. Let me give them to you. All right. Because I do studies, y'all. I research. This is my background. It's information. Africa has its own part in play, and depending on each country you go to. Now, one of the problems I have with Africa is Africa doesn't have military. Each country has its own small unit, but not all countries have a military. 13 of the French countries there in Africa has the Europeans' military to step in. If something comes involved, they have their military to come in. The French colonized countries that were freed. Check them out. It is in writing with an agreement that the French will use their military and that they can't have a military. This is real. Then you have other African countries that don't have any military force to be able to so-called protect themselves against invasions from the so-called outside foreigners. What do I mean by that? They don't have military like the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. They have a small standing military when it comes to a ground force that's probably being able to fight at a border to keep the neighboring country from coming in maybe to cause havoc. But as far as seeing F-16s and 15s fly across the sky and having cargo planes, having navies that's sitting out, Navy ships out in the ocean and all that right there, they just don't have it. You talk about South Africa, that's a European part of Africa. 55 million Europeans down there. I mean, come on. So majority of the African countries are inland. They are landlocked. They are sitting inside of Africa where they can't even defend themselves. They don't have aerospace to be able to detect when planes are flying in over their airspace. They don't have such a thing. That's the number one thing that concerns me about going to go live in Africa. The second thing that concerns me is self-sustainability. Most African countries are relied upon imports that come in when it comes to their food. Why? Because they don't have distributions. They don't have the distribution and manufacturing abilities. So food is sent out that Africa grows over to countries to process and sent back and then charge a big, huge amount of money for them to buy it back. This is a huge deal to me because Africa, how can you allow a country or countries that don't like you anyway to give you food for you to eat when you don't even know what they're doing with your food? This is what's going on in Africa. So that's the second thing that concerns me, is that a lot of the African countries are not self-sustaining. The third thing about the continent of Africa that concerns me when it comes for me, now I'm talking about me, with the three things I don't like and why I am very skeptical of purchasing yet. The third thing is because there are certain countries whose governments do have problems with corruption. Now, we do know America is probably the biggest country with corruption. The European EU over the European Union is a huge corruption area. And it takes two to tangle. So the corruption is always involved with the Chinese and the Europeans. They are paying a lot of these countries to go ahead and keep them from flourishing and building up so that these leaders will keep everybody at bay, while we see today why Africa and certain countries are not developing. And so you got to do your homework. You got to make these hard decisions. If you want to go to Africa, especially to go live, don't let those on the outside, the pro-African, pan-African, Black pro brothers and sisters out here, to sway you or to throw guilt on you like you are less than. Do your homework. Do your homework. Do yourself diligent. Because I'm telling you, when I was there in Africa, there are those brothers and sisters from America who are leaning on you to give them money too, so that they can even make it. That's facts. I've dealt with that. You do have brothers and sisters from America over in Africa who will take your money and charge you in order for them to try to still continue to survive. You have people who are talking about, showing you land and selling you land. Let me tell you this right here. They won't tell you. They are probably the middleman getting a portion of it. Now, I have nothing against that at all, because, hey, every man deserves to have be compensated for the work that they are given. But you got to understand, when you go to Africa and you see that brothers and sisters from America, they're going to look out for your best interests. It's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. I had to find out. There are those who speak a good game. And when it comes time to go ahead and look and see if they are there for you, some of them aren't. And then some got the handout, expecting money from you. This is real. And so somebody come on and chat in with me. Somebody goes ahead and reach out. Let me see here if I got anybody who's wanting to come on in here. So yes, y'all. So we have to discuss this topic. Because yes, as time's going on, we got here in America, people are sick and tired of the white society, of the police brutality, the inequalities of whether it's jobs and whether it's banking, whether it's business, whether it's, the economical advantages that they have and we are at the disadvantage of it. People are getting sick and tired of it. And people are looking across over there to Africa. Now, y'all probably heard me say, if you watch my videos, that this is a big world, y'all. And there are other countries besides Africa, other continents besides Africa, that people are flourishing. Brothers and sisters are flourishing. And I've tried to give information out there to brothers and sisters who are actually are YouTubers who are trying to bring an awareness like Japan, over there in the Asian place over there. I don't care much for the Asia, but there are brothers and sisters over there. And check out the brother, he's got a YouTube channel. It's called The Japanese Experience or Asian Experience or something like that. He interviews everybody over in Asia, brothers and sisters. That's all he's interviewing. And he is showing these people, and I'm hearing time and time again, all them brothers and sisters, they don't say, I'm never going back to America. They say that they are looked upon at a higher level over in Asia in some of those countries. That the Asians realize how smart we are and they take advantage of it when we're over there doing our business, working in these, whether it's the organizations or whatever, that they heavily rely upon us. And these brothers and sisters talking about they're not coming back. They get much respect. Crime is low. People look at them like they, because, hey, we're foreigners there. Everybody want to get to know you. Everybody want to know what you're about. The spotlight is on you. So there's a lot of places that you can go to, instead of Africa, if Africa's not your thing. I like Panama. I liked South America. What about Costa Rica, Belize? These places not too far. Mexico, Guadalajara. I'm hearing big things about Guadalajara. So if your thing is to leave America, don't feel bad because people are putting pressure like you not black, like Biden says, you're not black if you don't vote for me. But, it's just because your skin color is black. We are everywhere. Every country I've been to, I found us. One of the most surprising places I found where we were was in Kuwait. I'm talking about original. These ain't people who were like, who was shipped out or, because of wars in Africa and they were sent over there. No, these are people who said, we've been here since the beginning. So, another surprising place was I was up in Alaska. We found brothers and sisters up there. I was out in Hawaii. That's a state. They got 5,000, 6,000, even they got 100 islands out there. But I find brothers and sisters everywhere I go. And I look for us. I look for us. I really do. And so this push for Africa, okay? So people can just calm their nerves down and because the perception of one man is only where he stands. Let me explain that. The perception only of one man is where you stand. You can only see as far as your eyes gonna allow you to see. It's about a mile, all right? About a mile or two is as far as you're gonna be able to see. And that's only in where you live at is your perception. But because people are on the ground in Africa and YouTubers are out there and they're pushing information out, and they're reporting certain messages and stuff like that, and we get feel a little warm and we get a little excited, And we feel as though that, well, let me go ahead and go. Yeah, let's go. Well, that's only their perception, because each and every one of us are so different as a people. We're so different as a people that what is good for you might be bad for me. And what I find to be interesting, you may not find to be interesting. One way of life is better for one person than another person. And so you have to look at this. That's why I said before that if, the top YouTubers right now are Gambia. And I'm here to tell you, I love the Bag family and, the Black Sid, and, everybody knows Art Kathy, and, all those three are the big that's going on in Gambia. But I'm here to tell you, the reason why most people going to Gambia, because it's probably within their affordable living. Because most people, when they look at other countries like Ghana, they're looking at Accra, the capital, and Accra is going to cost more money than Gambia. And because most people didn't do the research, they didn't visit other countries, they're thinking that, oh, well, I'll go to Gambia. And so we have to understand that, their perception. That's one thing I appreciate about our Kathy. Though I disagree with her delivery and how she says and all right there, she's a young lady to me. But if you listen close what she's saying, she's telling you exactly what's out there. And if you listen to what the Bag family is telling you, they're telling you how it is. But I will not think for one moment any of us are going out there to build a country up. Please, somebody call in. If you got the money to go ahead and build a power plant, a water facility, if you yourself got that money, please come on, chime in with me. Most people who are leaving to go to Africa have probably enough money to build their house and maybe start a small business. But they want to make it seem like we got to go to Africa and help Africa and help Africa. Africa has been around for thousands of years, ain't going nowhere. The way of life that we should appreciate, the culture. But we want to browbeat and try to bring people up to where we think their standard should be. Isn't that sickening? Isn't that where you're going to go into a country and walk around with your nose, and snooty and, acting like that you are better than the Africans who lives a certain way and they're doing just fine? But then you go over to another country and you realize that you can't even touch the hem of their garment because they got the money. Because you got that. Oh, yeah. We ain't seen, I'm going to tell you this right here. And this is truth. This is facts. We haven't seen a lot of talking about rich class living like you will find in Africa. And that's real. I've seen some things over there in Africa. It's just like, wow, mind blowing. Didn't know it existed. Like, let me take that idea back home. And then you go to another country and you're like, man, I can bring some ideas what we're doing in America and over here, man, and make a killing. And that's Africa. The land of opportunity that you get in where you fit in. You get in where you fit in. Don't be going trying to follow somebody else because they trying to build their business and need for you to come and need your money to get them up on their feet. Nah. Do your homework. Do your homework. Because if you do your homework, you're going to win in the end. And so if anybody got any questions, hit me with some questions because, I know there's people who've been hitting me up on email because I turned off my comments because I wanted to do a test. I wanted to do a test on my comments to take my comments off. Just so that people, instead of being quick to want to give comments, to maybe give a little bit more time in viewing the so-called videos that I'm posting. because it's amazing that very few people pay attention to the videos. We thumb through and fast forward. And there's so much concrete information that I be giving people that it is amazing. People will ask redundant questions. So I'm here right here for any person, because my job, like I said, my channel is to bring awareness to everyone, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that's why you see me post things. And people want to say, oh, you're just gossiping, you're being like a woman, or you're just being frivolous, you're being, this and that. Well, let me tell you something. When it comes to people like me, my people, and I hear of anything that's going on, that somebody's getting scammed, I'm putting it out there because I'm gonna bring awareness, because people need to know. Now it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to come back and clean up the mess that has been started. But it is my job of Go Black to Africa to make sure that I'm reporting what's on the ground, what's going on, whether those who wants to go to Africa, those people who are in Africa. I am getting hit through emails by people on both sides. And you see on my page, on my channel, that I am pushing and promoting every YouTuber that is in Africa. Go to my playlist and see, pick the country you want to go to. Click on it. It has YouTubers there that you can go ahead and find and go ahead and reach out to and ask them about whatever you want to ask about the country. That's what I want to do. And I hope that other YouTubers will connect with me, because this right here is just a family thing. It's a family thing we need to do, is connect together. But what I'm seeing now, and y'all already hearing, here we go. Here comes the mess now. Mud is starting to sling. And let me talk about that. You're going to find there are going to be groups that are going to pop up. There are going to be people who's going to be asking for money. All right. Asking for money, wanting you to invest, wanting you to give money to build projects. I'm going to say you need to be careful. You need to be careful when you're talking about putting money in people's hands, because and I know, if you've been around long enough, money makes people funny. People get funny when it comes to money. Let me tell you another thing. If you ever hear somebody asking and begging for money, what does that tell you? It should raise your eyebrow. So we have to understand that there's a lot of brothers and sisters that are moving to the continent, and there's going to be a lot of brothers and sisters out there on YouTube who are going to be promoting the area that they are. Now, I'm not saying all of them are out there for selfish reasons. Not at all. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is we have to be careful and make sure that we have enough sense to do the proper research, and to make sure that we get enough information about a country that we're wanting to go visit, so that then when you get to that place, you know that you are in good hands. Now, I travel sometimes alone and go to countries I ain't never been to, but I'm used to traveling. And some people don't feel that way. Some people don't feel comfortable in that way. And there's nothing wrong with having a contact. I got contacts now that are on the ground, and I've reached contacts through YouTubers. But I'm going to tell you this right here. I do not depend on any of them to be there when I get on the ground. So I got to figure it out myself. Because I'm here to tell you, we're going to hear more and more stories of that. We're going to hear more and more stories of people dissatisfaction of Africa. We're going to hear more and more stories of some, shady deals that are going on with people, because there's a movement going on. And this movement right here I think is a good thing, because the eye is waking up and people are wanting to go back and do a reconnection. And I highly recommend, if you haven't been back to the motherland, you have to go back to visit. Only just to go back to, if you have this so-called closure, because our story only exists from the time we reached the shore of America until we went to their schools and they taught us through their history books. But what I love about Africa is they got their history books. They got stories that we ain't even read. They got stories on the other side, what transpired before us even coming. Beautiful stories. They have historians there. I mean, they got parks and museums. They got all this stuff there for history for us to go back and to tie in and connect that piece of the puzzle. They have it there. Whether it's there in Ghana, where it's there in Senegal, whether it's there in Gambia, most of those coastal regions, Sierra Leone, those countries, they have some type of artifacts, museums, or whatever, dealing with the slave trade. And so if you want to have a part of the other of the story, I highly recommend going back. And so I would recommend, if you are wanting to know which country to go to first, I would probably just say Ghana. Because Ghana got 3 areas that has castle dungeons of where they were selling slaves, and that around those areas are some very, very intriguing places that you can find, like how we have here in America. They have like the Underground Railroad, and I've taken that. My wife and I have went on trips from all the way from Florida all the way to Canada, and all these states. And Africa in certain areas have those little roads or those paths of where, the Africans were taken out of, the inner of Africa, brought onto the shores. And so I highly recommend Ghana as one of the countries if you are interested in going. But let's just keep in mind here that we should not feel less than when people are pushing Africa and making statements like, on code, B1, Black consciousness, these words that we use, and to bring guilt upon a people if you're not supposedly 100% Black. We got to get away from that. We have to get away from that, because people today are lost. We are a lost people. It's a fact. We are lost. And I would say that the awareness have grown, and since in my time, even higher with the interests of Africa. And that's beautiful, that the interest of Africa has become so high now that people are really interested in going to visit or going to live. And that is what I would recommend, that everybody of African descent to go back or go Black to Africa. But not only there physically, we have to go back spiritually. I mean, right now we're sitting at 134 viewers right now. And I like to welcome everybody that's into my channel. If anybody wants to go ahead and chime in this discussion, go ahead and email at goblacktoafrica@gmail.com. I'll send you the link here, this right here on front that you see. And let's have a discussion. Let's have that discussion. Let's share some of y'all's experiences. Anybody who wants to share your experiences, or those who may have been to Africa, or what have you. But I want to bring that awareness to the people who are affiliated with me on my channel, and those who are just passing through and on, is that I am a man. I call myself old school. It's amazing. I thought I would never call myself old school, but I am. And that is, there's some things I take very seriously. And that is, I would look at myself as a man of integrity. Now, what is integrity? Now, I was taught integrity means doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And the reason why I hold myself high with integrity is because I consider myself accountable to the Creator. See, my Creator sees all that I do. And so I must have integrity. And I expect integrity in the work that I'm doing and providing videos and trying to be as transparent and as open and as honest as that I am able to. Because I see some YouTubers out here not to talk about anybody, but some people just up on game. Some people don't even know when you're being pimped. Squeeze money out of people, trying to go ahead and get people to go ahead and support them in endeavors only for themselves, and others are expecting a return. And I hold my tongue back, and I try to just be quiet on some things, but there's just some things I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to let go of if people are to be and take advantage of, or if information comes across, and I do my research. Okay. I do my research, and I make sure that I'm providing them as much information as possible. Like my 2 videos. I spoke to Phoenix's daughter. Okay. I sent an email to Phoenix, and she hasn't responded yet. I sent an email for an interview with Quasi, and he said he'll do an interview with me. He contacted me, and I was out of loop at 10:30 when he wanted to do it, so I wasn't able to do the interview with him. So I'm contacting these people. I'm making sure that, hey, what I'm presenting, you can get the rest of the story, because this has everything effect on everybody. But like my previous videos before, when I said African Americans are in, possibly might be in danger in Gambia, people ridiculed me. They wanted to comment about me instilling fear and causing problems and all this right here. No, because if you look at the video that I sent of the message traffic between Phoenix's daughter and Quasi, if you look at the response of what Quasi said, he said that the reputations of the Americans are not looking so good in Gambia. Now, I called this out 2 weeks ago when I said, look, if people are running around bad-mouthing the Gambians, and now I'm starting to watch the Gambians doing YouTubes and getting frustrated and angry, how long is it going to take for these people to start rising up against the people? See, I'm not trying to go where the fire's at. And I don't even want to send my people into a fire, as Martin Luther King said, send your people into a burning house. I think it's incumbent upon me that if I'm supplying information, it's to supply to people to inform them, hey, this is what's going on. You can call it gossip all day long if you want, but it's information that you should know. Now, Art Kathy now just recently just did a video about half hour ago, maybe an hour ago. And what she said, she was trying to clean up what is going on between her people. Now, I don't know. All I know is what Phoenix had put out there and what her daughter had told me. And I asked her daughter, can she corroborate that? And she said yes. And so that's the information that my channel is putting out. And so when I see what's going on in Gambia from the American side point of it, the African American side point of it, people are saying they're pulling back now. They're not going to go there. Well, that goes in and has a lot of say-so in why then were you going in the first place if you're going to allow that to stop you. But I understand, because I don't want to go into a burning house. Nobody should want to go into a burning house. And so saying that, if you want any other information, if you need assistance in travels to Africa, you're more than welcome to go ahead and email me. I can also connect you with some people who's doing tours. I know a couple people who's doing tours in Ghana. I know a brother who's doing tours in Egypt. I know a brother who's doing tours in Senegal. And then east of Africa, there are people I know that's in Tanzania is doing tours that I know. A partnership, a man and a woman is doing tours in Tanzania, Rwanda. And then there's a couple that's doing tours in Tanzania. So, and the more and more I'm meeting these people, I'm gonna start spreading the information. And if you stay in tune with my channel, you're gonna find out that I'm building my playlist with hopefully with the 54 countries that, if we have African Americans there who are YouTubers, who can then reach out, you can reach out to, gain information, be able to go ahead and connect with them, so that then you can have a profitable trip over to Africa. Do we have any questions in the house? Let me look through here. Are there any questions, or are these just comments? Yeah, I see that many people, maybe some are commenting about the Gambian thing and stuff like that. You know, the truth is always somewhere there in the middle. We don't know what the truth is. All we know is that, hey, there's been some allegations that's happened over in Gambia, and it's up for you to decide whether or not you believe it or not. You know, if you believe it or not, that's totally up to you. And so, as far as the Ghana is concerned, I've spoke with the couple K&K squad that I posted a video of them. They were saying that they want to get out of Africa because it was just not, they were not used to it and they didn't like it. And they are posting other videos stating that they still haven't made this decision up, but they might be coming back to America. Culture shock. It's real, y'all. Culture shock. When you get to places and they don't have the things that maybe you're used to, and that you have to go ahead and readjust your life to the way of that country, it could be difficult. And there are many people, like I stated before, when I was in the military, when we got stationed in various countries, there were people who couldn't handle it. They got kicked out the military, got sent back home to America because it caused them mental distress. It caused them mental distress and all that. Let's see who we got here. Hold on 1 second here. And it can cause all kind of dysfunction. It can cause a whole lot of problems when it comes to relocating to a country that that you have never been to. So let me see who we got here. So yes, so I say people that, you know, we have to be aware and informed. We have to know the country that we're going to, how the money works, because people don't even tell the exact story on money. Let me talk about that. People tell you, oh yeah, you could take, you for $1, you can get 12,000 shillings. And then they make it seem like, okay, you could be an instant millionaire if you took money there and you'd be an instant millionaire. It's not how money works. You got to know how to convert money. Because just because for $1 you get 12,000 shillings, a Coca-Cola drink might cost you 14,000 shillings. So the 12,000 doesn't mean that you got that much more than $1. It's just the equivalent of that. And then everything is put in perspectives when it comes to converting your money over. And so whether you want to talk about which country is expensive, which country is not, that's totally up to you. Because I keep hearing the questions of which country is expensive and which country is not expensive. That's just like asking what state in America is expensive and what state of America is not expensive. Or what city? Is your city expensive? You know, every city you go to, you can find the poorest of the poor and you can find the richer of the rich. The question is, where do you want to live, and where in that scale do you want to live? So it all depends on how much you want to spend. And land is going up in Ghana. As we speaking, it's going up. And as more traction begins to happen, when more people are going to countries, you know, it causes the land starts to go up further, you know, higher and higher. But you still can find cheap land in Ghana, and they're giving away free land in Ghana. If you want a piece of Africa, go to Ghana. You can go to Ghana. And about 2 hours outside of Ghana, going towards Elmina, they have an area out there. I Abasumba area free land. You just got to pay $700 for the administration and the survey fees and all to do the paperwork and all that right there. But for a plot of land, it's free. And if you haven't seen that on my video, find the video that I posted. I even got the website for you to find the application. You can do the application, and you got to sign a form, and then they'll go ahead and connect you and do whatever they got to do. You can do your trip. You can go check the land out, see if that's what you want, and go from there. All right, hold 1 second here. We got somebody coming in. All right, here. All right, so where was I at? The land cost and all that right there. Yeah. So we can talk about that land. We can talk about, lands everywhere. It's just that I'm gonna let you know that, they have this lease land. They got the 99-year lease land, and they got lease land hold, and they got some other stuff where it's like, it could be totally yours, or it's really yours for a time being of 99 years. Those are some things that they have, and every country is different. And I like East Africa because East Africa has a little different way of they doing it. Your land is just your land, and it is what it is. It's not about the leasing and all that there. So, I want to provide as much as information that I can to you all when it comes to Africa. Let's see here. Do you plan on moving to Africa with your family? Yes, I plan on moving to Africa with my family, but we'll have several places because I don't sit any place long. I've moved my whole life, and I really don't get rooted in until the day comes when I'm probably older and just want to, settle in somewhere. Maybe so, but yes, that's why I'm leaving here in the next few weeks, and I'll be gone for the winter. Yes, and then I'm going to be out on the hunt, and possibly will be, purchasing. Those who's interested, I'm looking at purchasing even in Ghana. I'm looking at purchasing an apartment. I'll be doing a live on that. An apartment. I got the paperwork done, so I got a spot held for me, and I'm looking at doing an Airbnb for that. So I'll go live on that and show y'all what that looks like. I'll show you the area, and so we will. I'll keep y'all in tune on that, and that's what I'm planning. That's why I'm going to Ghana first, and then after Ghana, I'll be there 3 weeks. Then I'm headed out to the east, and then looking at property out there. Hold 1 second here. Let's bring us a guest in here. Hey, hey, how we doing?
Good. Oh,
good,
nice to see
good.
you. This is so cool.
So cool.
Love your channel, by the way. Like your theme song is cool, and then this was your thing? It's your man, not your boy. Yeah, it's your man, not your boy.
I'm your man, not your boy.
That's literally genius.
I'm your man, not your boy. African meals. African meal. How we doing today?
Not bad. I definitely love the topic that you made. I didn't even know that you were online, but I know that you were talking about this, and just to let everyone know in the chat, with this whole going to Africa thing, it definitely, I know there's an emotional aspect to it, but there also does need to be a responsible aspect to it as well.
Yes.
You can't just trust people that look like you. All right. I know some of you guys are coming from Atlanta, but that's scam central. But you also think that there aren't going to be scam centrals in Mombasa,
Yeah.
in Accra, in Dar es Salaam. Like, there are scam centrals also in other parts of the world. And even just with your accent, you are attracting scam centrals, which
Yeah.
is why I like how you said you're going to Ghana. I'm a continental, and even me, I also get scammed, guys. You just have to, it's like, if
Where
you're
you
not
from?
there on the land, I always say a good idea is to just hit up a local and pay them. Because if I want to pay somebody in Ghana, for instance, to do some CIA or double agent work for me, they'll do it for me, not because they like me, but
Yeah.
because I'm paying them more than, the average person who could pay them. So always get a third party who could verify things for you. If you don't have like a best friend that's over there that you could trust, you always need to get a third party to make sure that they could verify things for you. Don't just trust someone that's selling you something, because that person is selling you something. They're obviously going to say that their product is the best. Why would I tell you, hey, I have some land, and take pictures and not? Come on, if I have a bad heart, a bad mind, I could scam you if I'm trying to sell you something because I just want the money. So always
Yeah.
make sure you have a third party who is unbiased or biased towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just basically what it is, guys. And I know it's really bad here on YouTube right now, but to be honest, there are so many more repats who've been quiet and don't have any problems. So don't think that even what we're seeing right now is, I think because we're recording things more now is because these issues are being brought out, which I actually like that they're being brought out. But it doesn't mean that everybody's going through the exact same thing. There are other people who've been there since the 70s and 80s and haven't had issues. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to add to that.
Yeah. Where you from?
Originally, I'm from Ghana.
Oh, so you're originally from Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 And so, are you living in America right now?
I'm living in the West. I'm not living in America, no.
Oh, okay. You're in the West. Okay. I'm assuming Europe. You said you're living in the West.
Yeah.
Okay. West of what? You're not trying to disclose that information. Okay, I got you. I got you. We keep it like that. We gonna
Yeah.
keep it like that. Okay, I understand. I understand. So, you're absolutely right. What she's saying is that and when I travel, I love to connect with the locals.
Yeah. The
If
locals
you're
are.
gonna try to be and find where the Americans are and all that right there, you're really doing yourself a disservice. And to really hire a local who will show you around. And I remember I went to Dominican Republic and I did that. And I hired this guy. He spotted me out the crowd. He was like, "Yo, you from America, man?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I knew it, man. I knew it." But he said, "Man, I'll show you around." And I paid him a little money. I mean, and he took me all over. I mean, he took me all wherever I wanted to go. You know, and I mean, and I took care of his meal while we were out. Bought him some drinks, whatever. But you cannot. It's priceless when you have a local who can do that for you. Now, I know some people might say, well, how do you select? How do you know who to select? When it comes to that, and I think that's where you got to do sometimes your homework when it comes to before you go there and maybe trying to find some contacts. Or what would you say? How would they pick and choose? Choosing a guide or someone to show them around.
Well, you could do it two ways. You could do it right now from the diaspora. I know Facebook is a really good tool to connect with before. If that's not a good idea, then if you're staying there for a while, then obviously you will come in contact with people. Just go to the hot areas, even around the airport. You could literally just spot someone and literally ask them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Restaurants are also good. Restaurants are not bad as well.
Mm-hmm.
Find people like that. And then
Yeah.
usually once you find one person, they'll introduce you to maybe a group of people who could take it to the next level as well.
What part of Ghana are you from?
Do you know Do you know Achim?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that's where I'm from. But where I usually stay in Tema community,
Okay. Oh yeah.
that area.
They got a train that runs from there straight over to Accra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got a train that runs over there. Okay. Yeah, that's like, it's kind of hard for me. Was that south of Accra, I guess, or whatever, Tima? Yeah. Then you have what else is over there? There's American sister that lives over there. Oh, I forget the name. It'll come to me though. So okay. All right.
And
Now, how often you go back home?
at first I didn't go back home much because I didn't care, but now my life has changed. I've been, seeing the light and seeing the importance of investing and trying to do more stuff back home. So now I definitely make an effort to at least go every year.
To go every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually when I go, I'll go to the village a little bit. I honestly don't even like being in Accra much unless if it's for just going to restaurants or visiting the mall. But in terms of staying in Accra, like Accra, East Legon, Airport, that whole area, it's not for me. I'm more of a beach person anyway. I like Tardy. Have you been to Tardy before?
Where?
Takrade, Tardy.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Okay, you have to go to Takrade.
Okay. Well, good. I'm gonna have to check it out. I say I'll be there in a couple weeks, so probably less than a couple weeks, but so I'll be there and all, and so we'll see.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, thank you very much. If you have, you can sit tight if you want, or you can go ahead and just chime on out if you want.
Oh, all right.
Okay, Brother Joseph.
Hey.
How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm your man, not your boy.
I hear you, man. You keep it real. You keep it 100%.
Yeah.
And, I think some of these YouTubers in Ghana and the Gambia, they are not being fair to our brothers here. I'm from Ghana.
Okay.
I live in Pittsburgh now, and some of the stuff they say and do, they make it seem like I appreciate them going to the cities and saying that things are great, things are nice, but I'm from Ghana. I know everything is not great in Ghana, right? I know there are kids on the street who are hungry, but it's the same in America.
Same in America.
The difference between Ghana and America is the government helps you. Even if you are not, I know people that have been here, not just African Americans, not just white people, but Africans who have been on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Who have been on government help for 20 years? I'm talking about people from Ghana, right?
Right.
In Africa, you don't have that luxury. So if you go there and you keep saying, "Oh, the people are poor, they can't do anything for themselves, they are thinking backwards, they are dead poor." The only difference between the black people in Africa and the black people in America is the government helps you. If the government does not help, you will be just like the people in Africa.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You have people in the streets begging for food. The family that is in Ghana, what is their name? K and G. What's the name? The ones that want to leave and come back to America. What's their name?
Say that again one more time.
The family, the African American family that's in Africa, in Ghana.
Yeah. K and K SWAT. Yeah.
What did they? Where did they think? Did they just watch? What do you call it? Black Panther? Not Black Panther. What's the movie with?
Wakanda.
Yeah. Did they just see that and they thought the whole of Africa was like that? Like, why would you want heater in your house? It's Africa. It's hot as hell. We don't need heaters to take a shower.
Well, and you make a good point, and that's the thing that we don't think about, though, and that's the one thing that they're realizing is that, they had a certain style of living and a way of living, and people need to understand, which I was saying in my show earlier, is that you better get to know where you're going. You should know, and where you stay now, because not all Accra, don't have hot water. And I mean, you got plenty of places around there that have hot water and stuff like that.
And if you want it and you really want it, you can just go to the shop and buy a hot water. It's like what? I know how much it is because I'm building our home. It's like 1,200 cedis, which is like $200, and get it installed. When you are leaving, you take your stuff with you. Like, you make things so like, I don't know what their expectations are, right? But you guys, but the thing I don't understand is they are struggling to make it. They are doing their best. They are trying to stay. And yesterday I watched their video. They are talking about people should send donations so they feed the kids. What are they talking about? You can't. You haven't even got your situation correct. How are you going to feed somebody else's kids? Shouldn't you get your situation ready? And it seems like all the not everybody, but most of the African American YouTubers in Africa, they always want to do good with somebody else's money. Like, send me donations so I can help other people. Well, if you want to help people, you don't need donations. You help them with what you have.
I like to rebuttal that.
Why are you trying to be a hero on somebody else's money? I don't get it. Like,
well, I mean, I go ahead, African Mill.
Okay. The last part that you just said, though, I would like to add, however, though, it's their subscribers that are voluntarily giving them money.
No, they ask for it. I heard them say that if you YouTube, if you have connections here, find us somewhere to get a building so that and give us donations so we can help feed the kids. You cannot feed.
Yeah, I know what video you're talking about. He was saying that because they were frustrated of the backlash that they were getting, and they said, well, since everybody has this comment and have a say so about it, well, won't y'all go ahead and find us a place we can get set up shop and feed these hungry kids out here? So I think he was coming back at the naysayers and those who were complaining about them and their dissatisfaction of Ghana. But yet they're saying, look, we've seen all these hungry kids and people are out here overlooking them.
Yeah.
No, somebody give us a commercial place so we can go ahead and get some kids.
Okay, brother, let me tell you something. I'm not talking about African Americans, but all Black people. When you come from Africa and you come here first, you don't see the situation the way it is, right? You see the situation, like we come here and we are like, what are you guys doing? With all these opportunities, you can go to community college for free. Using state aid, and like you really can go for free. Why are you guys not taking advantage of this? That's how it comes across that we are looking down on you. But then you stay here for some time, you have kids, and then you start understanding what the fundamental problem is. We just look at the surface, right? You go to Ghana, you see kids on the street and you're like, oh, the kids are hungry, we need to help them. One thing you have to know is everybody in Ghana, they have a home. Listen to what I'm saying. They have a home. They choose to leave their home in like maybe Tamale or Takoradi or Kumasi to come to Accra for greener pastures. They come to Accra with their kid, not just like sometimes how African Americans go to Africa with their families and they don't even know where to stay, right? They didn't do their research. They come there and they realize, I cannot afford no house here. So instead of going back to where they are from, they are not. They will send the kids out for the kids to go look for money. Some of them will work themselves, but most of them, they will not work. They will stay, they will be sleeping in front of like storefronts and stuff like that. Instead of going back to where they came from because they can't afford, they wouldn't do it.
It's like the homeless here in America where they gravitate towards cities because
like
that's where hustle and bustle is at.
Yeah.
They can ask for money and they can get, food and all that instead of sitting out there in the country somewhere.
And the other thing I want to tell you about land to the African Americans that want to go to Ghana, please don't go to Accra and go buy land. You can't afford it. Can you believe they are selling land, a plot of land, 80 by 100 for $250,000 near the airport? The airport. Meanwhile, if you go 2 hours away to a Bree,
Oh, I love a breed. Oh, I
You
love
can get an acre of land for $500.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm gonna tell people. Well, Bree, number one, it's cooler.
Oh man.
It's at a higher level.
Oh.
It's just beautiful over there, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel like the YouTube, like you keep it real, you say it how it is. I don't think the YouTubers are being fair to African Americans. They make Africa look like this place that is heavy. I'm not saying it's not fun. There's so much freedom, it's almost anarchy, right? People do whatever they want, right? And
Yeah,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
People drive like they are in go-karts, like they don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people just go crazy because there's too much freedom, right? But and then they go there and they say you don't pay taxes, you don't do this. But you have to trade something off. You don't pay the taxes, so there's no infrastructure. So you got to deal with the rules the way they are, right? You have to have trade-offs. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm in America. I hate." Not that I hate, but I want to go back to my people. Then I go back to my people, and then I go and like the people in the Gambia. You find the cheapest place you can live for $300 at Kathy. I don't want to mention this, but at Kathy, you were in Ghana. You couldn't make it in Ghana. You couldn't survive. There's competition in Ghana. If you go to Accra, you will compete.
Yeah.
If you go to Lagos, Nigeria, you better get your stuff straight. If you are not successful in America, you are not going to be successful in Africa. Those of us that leave Africa and come here, we don't come here because we are stupid. We've made some money. We can go back, but we know the situation. So if we are hesitant to go back until we get all our stuff, straight, why would you just get up and leave and go to Africa with like $5,000 and think you can survive?
And that's the setup. It blows my mind when dollars are thrown across YouTube. You cannot give somebody a dollar figure when you don't know their spending habits.
Man,
you don't know how they budget.
I'll go to Ghana and I have $5,000 for 2 weeks and I'm broke in a week. I am broke. Calling my wife like, man, you got to send me something. It's like you spend more money there than you are here.
Well, and you know what? I'm going to tell you right here. I know I wouldn't spend $5,000 in Ghana in crop, but I'll tell you this right here. I know if I stayed 2 weeks in a crop, in a hotel and eating off of the restaurants and stuff, I would spend close to $2,000 in 2 weeks. Easily.
Think about it. I don't even stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
And right? So, but you go there and you start thinking, like after a while, you start thinking like the way even Africans, we go back home and we start thinking like the way African Americans think. You go there, you're like, oh, $1 is like 6 cities. Oh, this is nothing. Then you just keep giving them, and then you're like middle of the week, you're like, I'll be here for a week. And I ain't got no money. Now I got to call my wife and explain why I don't have money. Do you have a girlfriend there giving her? Man, you have no idea.
African meal. Let me ask you. You laughing there? Is that true? There's some truth to that story, or what?
Well, to be honest, because of that, when I go there, I only take a certain amount of cash. But yeah, if I wanted to stun on the gram, I could easily go to the area where all the celebrities and ballers go, but then I'd be broke as well.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. That's why I stay away from those areas. I go in areas that I know that I could afford, low key, buy. That's what
I go there trying to be cute with my boys, guys that I went to school with. They are there. Oh yeah, let's go to the bar, get a bottle of Ciroc for $200. Not thinking like you broke.
Yeah.
Now your boys come to your house like, hey, what's up? You're like, nah, I got a headache. No, you ain't got no headache. You broke. You don't want to go out, right? Yeah. So if I live there and I'm going there with $5,000 and I'm broke and I have I don't pay for rent, I don't pay for a car, I don't pay none of that, and I'm broke, why would you think you will move why would you even think about moving your whole family to a country that you have no idea where it is? When I came here by myself. After I settled, then I went to go get my wife. Right? That's what you should do. Go and visit. Stay for a week. Don't go and stay in Accra and go to the parties and think that's all Africa is. No. And you should have, you can't go there and go get a job. Come on. You can't get a job there. You have to go there with a plan. How you going to make money? How you going to survive? You have to have all your stuff like lined up. But people think they can just roll there with $2,000 because the YouTubers make them feel like, yeah, you really can do that. And and one last thing, if you go to northern Ghana, I heard you were telling them about the free land that they gave, the government gave the African Americans and the people in the diaspora. They gave them 5,000 acres in like Cape Coast. But if you go to northern Ghana, especially those who want to look into business, you can get as much land as you want. I know people who have 700 acres to farm with that you won't pay for. In the northern Ghana, they don't sell the land; they give it to you, and then you can. What they do is it's like after whatever you plant on there, after it grows and you harvest it and you sell it, you go and thank the chiefs and the people there with whatever you think is right. They don't even charge you for the land. So people who want to go there for farming, they should venture towards the northern Ghana where they don't have to worry about buying land. They give you the land. You cannot take the land, but you can use it as long as you want. And every year after your harvest, you can just give the chiefs whatever you feel is right. They don't even give you a price. Whatever you feel you can do for them, you do for them. So that's one place that people should go. But I mean, I love your channel, man. You keep it real.
Thank you.
I love what you do, and I hope the YouTubers on the YouTube should would follow your lead and try to let people know that it's difficult. It's not an easy system. It's difficult, and especially the family in Ghana. We are in the political season now, right? Okay. They shouldn't say things. I know they said people send them messages threatening them and stuff like that. They might think it's a joke. But politics in Ghana turns violent real quick. All somebody got to say is the government in power, all they have to say is, oh, these people from America, the opposition give them money to say what they are saying. That's all they have to say. Mm-hmm. And somebody who is a party faithful will go do something to them just to gain favor, maybe for $50. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point because, we have to understand when we step into another country. Now, I already know this because I traveled. That freedom of speech does not go far. You better be careful what you say in country.
Listen, there is freedom of speech. Do you know what we don't have? Freedom after speech.
Yeah,
you will get effed up trying to be.
You get dealt with. And you know what? And here's my thing though, because I mean, I don't believe every person should have the right to speak anything out their mouth anyway. For me, I really don't, because I mean, freedom of speech, you can have a disregard and disrespect people, and that doesn't make it right. Yeah. And so to me, when you go into somebody's country, and so that's like walking to somebody's house. You wouldn't walk in somebody's house and say, "Oh, this place stinks. Oh, your food's terrible," and that's total disrespect. I know. And so we got to be very conscious and careful that we don't offend somebody.
Yeah. And they come and they say, well, the Chinese are taking over, the white people are here, they don't bother us. We don't bother them. Yeah, we don't bother them because they don't say shit. They just make their money and leave. They don't say nothing. They just come, make their money and roll. If you do that, we ain't got no problem with you. But if you start talking about people's culture, there's cultures in Ghana that Ghanaians themselves hate. We have a camp in the north where they call it a witch camp, where people take their grandmothers who they think are witches and stuff, and they just keep them there. Most Ghanaians hate it. Yeah, but it's somebody's culture. You got to be careful what you say. We speak more than 57 different languages in Ghana. You have to be careful what you say about somebody's culture. And especially in the political season where election is in December, if you talk about kids on the streets hungry, and the government knows that this message is going out to the world, you'll be targeted. This is stuff that you have to know.
Yeah.
After the election, you can say whatever you want. Nobody cares. But election period, you got to be extremely careful what you say.
And that's the thing too. We have to be cautious in when we're watching these YouTubers in other different countries, because I've heard it time and time again when it came to over in Gambia. I've had Gambians who are telling me, "Oh, our Kathy doesn't have to worry. Nobody's going to hurt her. We're very peaceful people over here in Gambia." And I'm like, "Okay, you say that, but now there might be other countries that don't act that way." You know what I mean?
If Akati said what he said in South Africa, I guarantee you she'll be dead.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you,
she will be dead. Period. She will be the first African American.
In some parts of America, you'd be dead.
On the continent, she will be dead.
Some parts of America, she'd be dead. You
think
walk into the hood.
I'm in Africa. You think I'll go to the hood and say, "You guys clean your stuff up"? Like, what kind of dumb shit is that?
Yeah.
I don't even have the nerve. I'm scared to drive in the hood. Let the hood go stand there and talk shit. Come on,
You
man.
don't do that. Yeah. You don't. You respect the person's place. Got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, Joseph. Hey, your time. We got people who's going to chime in.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
All right.
All right. Who we got? The truth. The truth.
Yo, what's up? How we doing?
Good.
Check this out. This whole mess is out of hand, but at least the truth has come on now, Our Kofi, she put it running around, She about to cross the border from Senegal, going to Guinea Conakry or something like that, You know what I mean? Because obviously this dude is looking for, and he's serious, man. The dude is serious. He wants to do damage on her. You get what I mean? You see? But they're all scammers. They're all a bunch of scammers. Bag is a scammer. Art Coffee is a scammer. They're all scammers. Bag is always claiming Black City is a scammer because they're selling land and they're not giving people papers. But they're all a bunch of scammers. You see? Bag thinks they can build hotels and restaurants in a swamp. It's going to take millions and millions of dollars to drain that swamp, to make it dry, to make it sustainable, to build a big structure on there. How much donations you people have to give to make a hotel get on there? And then the next thing is going to say, oh yeah, the Nigerian contractor ran off with the money. I bet you, keep your eyes open. You will see what's going to happen. The Nigerian ran off with all the money so the project can't go ahead. You can't build on the swamp. You're not going to build a hotel on the swamp. We got land here where I live, and it's near a swamp, and the buildings are always sinking. They have to pump concrete, constant concrete, and it costs millions and millions and millions, because these people can afford it, and Bag ain't gonna be able to afford that. So all of you are draining, putting your money in there, because he's got a smooth talk. He's like a pimp, you see. He's like Pastor Rick Clifford Dollar. He wants a new plane for the Bag church, always coming, you saying, throw in your tithings. Oh, shabba. I'm speaking in tongues. Just give me your tithings. Listen, every one of them is scamming you. If you knew what it takes to build a hotel, a restaurant, surveyors have to come, they find the best piece of land, stable, dry land. That land is a swamp. Don't put your money in sinking sand. It's all just going to sink. And then they'll run off. I've warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, peace out. It's good that coffee's been exposed. Now let's go on to the next thing. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. What's going on? What's going on? Go Black. What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Go Black.
Yeah. Well, I'm an African American that born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm currently in Hawaii right now. I was trying to get some money so I can move to Africa, and things didn't go out as planned. Come to find out, I thought I was leaving Babylon to come to Hawaii, and wind up in the worst of Babylon than Hawaii. So. Yeah, man.
What part of Hawaii? What island you on?
I'm on Ohio.
Huh?
Ohio.
Oahu.
A-H-U. Oahu, yeah.
Oh, okay. How long you been there?
I've been here for 2 years. I should have went to the Caribbean islands better, but I thought to come out here because the pay was a little better. But it's just the same, man. It's just the same old racism that it is on the mainland.
And how long you been there?
2 years.
Okay. Military affiliated? What?
Oh no, sir. No. I'm from Detroit.
Okay, I thought you might have been stationed over there in Hawaii.
No, I came on my own dollar.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on
I just like what you're doing, man. Well, I've been studying Pan-Africanism since 2010.
Okay.
or maybe 2008.
Yeah.
It's been my goal to go back to Africa. I started, like, I like the Jamaican music, and I started really listening to the details of the Old Testament that the Rastas speak about in their music, and learning about Marcus Garvey and Haile Selassie and the land that's there for all of the African diaspora, that's in Shashamani, Ethiopia. And I just been trying to save up money so I can come back home, man, and start a business. I had a business in America, in Springfield, Illinois, that the white man and nobody came and helped me out, no grants or nothing.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely. You got to make it to the motherland, man. Check it out.
Oh yeah, I'm a hustler too, Chief. So it's gonna be love.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We appreciate the call, brother.
Yep.
All righty. Who we have here, Mr. Is it Boamio?
Yeah.
Please, I'd love to hear from you. How you doing?
Same. No, I was listening to the conversation earlier on and about the family in Ghana. I think that we shouldn't, look, they might have just had a shock of the system and then expressed themselves, and then they emotionally express themselves wrongly. Yeah, we should give them the opportunity to accustom to Ghana, because if you listen to the conversation or their video yesterday, most of the time you see contradiction in what they are trying to express. Some of their language was harsh, and to some Ghanaians that might come over unwelcome. But also, if you listen to them on the flip side, you could see that, they probably had a culture shock.
Oh, yeah.
And that happens sometimes, So, look, they are our own people, we should give them a chance. Africa is not for everybody. We should realize that, And, it looks like they said they did their homework very well, but still had a culture shock. The kids on the street, especially the kids from Mali, they are refugees.
Mm-hmm.
When I go around with my mom likes to take them home and look after them. They refuse. They won't go home with you, So and kids growing up in Ghana, come on, we all grow up on the streets in Ghana, and it's part of it, Don't get too emotional about that. So for somebody coming from outside, it might look harsh, but hey, it's Ghana. We are happy. We might look poor, but
hey, Bob Mio.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
Good.
Well,
You broke up there, Big Facts. Yeah, I think he broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they said pretty some harsh words, but we should also give them the opportunity for them to accustom to the society, and then maybe they might change their mind if they settle down and
Yeah, I'll tell you this right here. What you mentioned was that culture shock is something, and I'm gonna tell you, when I first went to Africa, you are like, you're hit with so much thought, so much is going on in your head.
Yes.
Number one, you just hit the motherland, so you feel with a lot of different emotions and energies going on. And then, I mean, it's like you're seeing the people and you're seeing this whole thing, economy moving, and all this stuff is striking you, and you get hit from the left or right, and then all of a sudden now you gotta, you get placed in a place where you're gonna lay your head at. It may be a little different than we're used to. Now you gotta, with the food, and might be the roads, it might be the traffic, it might be, and so everything is on you, and then all of a sudden you start comparing, because there's such a big difference. And when you start comparing, when you start to open your mouth about comparison, people are going to take it as they're complaining and that it's no good to them, you know? And we
Go
have
black. Go black. All I'm worried about is is it some good food. That's all I'm worried about.
is what?
Can I eat something? At least
Some
once
food? You eat some good food, you said? I think he's breaking up.
Yeah.
So I that's what I would like to share with the people is that, you know, if you've never left out of America, you know, I would say, you know, go down to South America, Central America, you know, go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Because I mean, those places really, they are just a different way of life. They're just different than here.
And one other thing people have to realize is that, look, in Ghana, you can have top luxury and you can also see poverty. You know, look, it's there from the upper level to the lower level. And sometimes, you know, you see things and say, wow, how can, you know, people be so worse off? And, you know, you also see people doing very, very, very well. You know, I mean, back in Europe, you know, there's a middle, you know, I mean, you almost see most people in the middle level, you know, everybody, because we have government support and things like that taken care of. And then, you know, even everybody is pretty doing almost okay. You know, that is not the situation in Ghana. In Ghana, you do have a gap between people doing very, very, very extremely well and people doing very, very, and that can be a shock to some people. If you come from the West and you see that, you know, it can be a shock. You know, so yeah, I think people should prepare very, very, very well, do their homework before they go down, so that, you know, and the lady you had on, the other lady, the Ghanaian, she was saying that, you know, look, get in contact with people, let them prepare you, have people to receive you. So when you come down, you have people pushing you through the system, and then, you know, you will not have such an impact. You know? Yeah. But one other thing I want to point out, you know, what the family over there was saying, look, because of the, look, what we are trying to achieve in Africa is the shortcomings. We want people that can help rebuild Africa, make it what we want it to be. That's what we're looking for, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you are going in for the luxury, well, then prepare yourself for that. But you are going to see the poor sides of Africa as well. And if that is not your take, please don't come now. Wait another 15, 20 years, and then you come down and things have changed. Those of us who are going.
Right. And that's what the previous brother was talking about, was that there's a whole lot of freedoms that are there.
Yes.
But there's a trade-off with it. You know, you can go there and just start a business. You're not going to go through a lot of red tape like here in America. You know, you're not going to go through the bureaucracy and the high pay and taxes and all that right there. Yeah. You can literally go get your business license and set up shop. They don't have you know, these zones, you know, commercial zoning, residential zoning, and all that to a certain degree. Yeah. You can be, I mean, where here in America, they separate everything. You got the rich people over here, they'll keep it over there. You got the poor people over there, you keep them over there. And then, you know, you can close your eyes to the poverty and just get through it and keep on your way and act like it doesn't exist. In Africa and Ghana, I speak just specifically for Ghana, it's all around you. You can have a mansion sitting right here on your property, and the man next door has a small hut with his animals.
Yes.
That's Africa.
Let me tell you something about that. Right? I personally, it sometimes bugs me that, you know, when you are in Accra, you see all these big mansions, yeah, but then the road in front of all these big houses is not fixed, yeah, and you say, look, if you can build that house, because I have one as well, yeah, if I can build that house, I should be able to contribute to have the road fixed.
Everybody put their money together and build a road.
You know what bugs me sometimes? I have to declare my property in Ghana, in the Netherlands.
Get out of here.
Yes. Well, we have a dual tax treaty with Ghana, yeah? So, yes.
Hold on. You paying taxes on your property in Switzerland?
In the Netherlands.
I'm sorry, Netherlands.
Yes. So if I don't pay the tax in Ghana, I am obligated to pay it in the Netherlands. Yeah. So this is sometimes what bogs my mind, and some people say, look, the Ghanaian government is refusing to collect adequate taxes on people who can afford such properties and build the communities. Yeah? And here you are, if you don't, the Dutch government says, hey, look, if you don't, we will collect it. So sometimes this kind of things go on, and you think, what are we doing? People can afford to build such houses. Well, look, I am prepared to pay the tax.
What is the tax? Give me an idea of the taxes. Like, okay, what size is your house?
Oh, I have a big house.
Square footage wise, 4,000 or 5,000.
I have a 4-plot property.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's about an acre.
Yes, that's correct.
The plot is about 1/4 of an acre over there. Yeah.
And
okay.
And that is not the only property I have.
Okay.
Know? So
what would you pay the taxes? I mean, I'm not trying to get in your business, but just to give the people just an idea of the tax one would pay for an acre lot and a big house on it. What would taxes cost a person annually?
In Ghana?
Yeah.
Well, it is what the local council, gives you to pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look at the amount of money they give you to pay, it's my friend is
$100 a year.
It's about $500. For my property, it's about $500 on a yearly basis.
On a yearly basis.
For a property that is about $500,000 to $1 million, because my property is in East Legon, and as the gentleman was saying, just the land alone, property prices have appreciated in the East Legon. Just the land alone is over $250,000
for the land. Yeah.
And some of these are per plot, depending on where in East Legon that is. Yeah. So if you do that calculation, and then the amount of money they are asking is a piece of cake. Look, taxes needs to be collected. The road needs to be fixed. And the mistakes that sometimes is made is that there is a reluctance to levy tax because the mindset is that the poor people can pay, but not everybody is poor. And I am willing to pay tax, help fix what has to be fixed, so that the rest of people who cannot afford it benefit. That is how it is done in the Netherlands. Those who can afford it pay a higher level of tax, and then that is used to fix the infrastructure. And as the infrastructure is fixed, businesses grow and everybody benefits. Then you pull the poor also out of where they are. But we have a mindset, the poor can't pay, so we don't want to levy the taxes. And then even those who can afford it and want to pay and have the infrastructure fixed so that they can grow their business, they are handicapped by that. So we have to do what has to be done, and we need to educate ourselves. Sometimes that is also lacking, because maybe the civil servant over there is also with the mindset, there are too many poor people, we cannot levy tax. But okay, look, I can afford it. Let me pay.
Well, what I think one of the disadvantages, I think that in that creating a tax structure, there's no like minimum wage there, right? They don't have like no, the like for us the minimum wage for the pay. They don't have like a government assistance for the people.
Yes.
Unemployment for the people.
Yes.
And so my thing is that when you don't have all these things that our government tax people for,
yes,
where's the money that they're generating when it comes to, whether it's, the gross domestic product of imports and stuff, doing business, internationally, because our government takes care of, one is the military. Okay, so it takes care of the military. That's expense they take care of, whether it's, the roads, the government roads, and, the infrastructure and those various things like that is what they're collecting the taxes from the people to do. So my thing I don't understand with Africa, some countries of Africa, like Ghana, is that what are they doing with the money that the government's receiving? Where does that money go towards? I mean, what are they using the money for? Because it's not going for the infrastructure mostly, maybe main roads and stuff like that. But I don't know where most of the money is going to when you talk about collecting taxes and stuff.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I was on another platform the other day, and there was a gentleman explaining that, look, we actually pay all those taxes, and he was explaining. I said, oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that. So maybe it's being done, but if I look at where I am in Europe and I compare to the structures that are in place, for example, a tax might be levied, but not everybody can pay. And in the Netherlands, what they do is that then they in turn use subsidy. They in turn use subsidy to compensate those that cannot afford such a tax. And in the Netherlands, it's very easy to do because almost everybody is registered per a local council. So you pretty know everybody within your council. So let's say in your community, or probably in the US, I don't know, that might be a state or whatever, or a county, So and it is pretty what the income level is, and people are they are entitled to subsidy if they qualify and things like that. So that way, you levy the tax that has to be levied, but then you can also compensate people, if they are within outside the range whereby they cannot afford and things like that. We need such systems around to compensate for those that are less fortunate.
So now let me ask you this right here, because I know like the title of this show is is the Pan-African really pushing the African American into going to Africa to move? What would be your words of wisdom in telling somebody, should they or should they not, and what preparations should they take, in making that happen, to make it an easy, smooth visit, let's just say, to your home country, Ghana?
Yes. Look, Africa belongs to all Africans. Anybody of an African origin, you are entitled to that. Look, the fact that some of our people were taken out of the homeland and brought to some other part of the country, and somebody imposed a state over them and then gave them a citizenship, doesn't make you that you are still not entitled to Africa, because your great-great-great-grandfather or grandmother comes from there. He or she might have come from a particular community. They are entitled to land and things like that. So look, Africans belongs to Africa. Well, due to technology, everything, the world has changed. Now we are able to communicate. Look, 5 years ago, this was not possible. Information going around was not possible, but now it is now. So you are entitled to go to Africa, have your claim. I personally think that all Africans should have citizenship. Nobody should ask you when you're coming back to Africa, hey, that you need a visa or whatever. It shouldn't be the case. We are going to get there. So I agree with your topic, and I think that African Americans, look, those that want to go take a look if it is something for you. It is the same like Jews. Look, they have, let's put the politics aside, they have the state of Israel. If you want to go back to Israel and make something out of it, live there, you are welcome. Yeah. If it is not for you, you want to live in the diaspora, you are also welcome to do it. You know, I personally have a home in Ghana, and then whenever we want to go back, we go back home, we chill out. My family wants to live in Europe, so I'm stuck over here. Where else I would like to be in Ghana, but I'm stuck over here, you know. So yeah, so I think all Africans are entitled to Africa. It's just that anywhere in the world you are going, you have to do your homework. You have to know the vicinity in which you are going, which area is safe, is not safe. Every city in the world. Look, Accra is a big, gigantic city, just like any other major city in the world. You know, So do your homework, get there, take care of yourself, and go around, and you should be okay.
Yeah, should be okay. Do your homework. I think that's the key thing that our brother is saying right here, is that you got to do your homework. Because I'm finding that, and I'm listening and hearing, because I try to keep my ear to the ground and my eyes up on what's going on in Africa with the African Americans, or even those from UK who has YouTubes, and they are pushing Africa upon a people to come visit or to come move. And I'm finding that some people are packing up themselves, their families, and they're going. And like I said before, is that what really concerns me, because everybody wants to know the dollar amount. I understand. How much is it going to cost me? But when a dollar amount is given, that right there is like, whoa, hold up.
Yes. Some people think Africa is cheap, especially if you haven't been there before. But I can tell you, Accra is not cheap.
Accra is not cheap.
Accra is not cheap.
No.
Look, if you have to live decently in a hotel, whatever, or you rent a very good property and things like that, it's not cheap. If the
hotel will cost you $110, $15 a day.
Yes. You know. So people have to be aware of that. You know that it can cost money, and you should be able to. You know, look. I mean, I have my house. I have a family. So when I go, I can go to my sister's house and eat. I can also prepare my own food. And what the gentleman was saying, if you don't take time, your money can quickly run out, you know, and you'll be surprised. Hey, you know, so people have to do their homework. But I think that people should go experience Africa, not only Ghana, go to some other places as well, you know, and enjoy it, because you are entitled to it. And if you want to make it your home, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. I mean, it's a beautiful place, and what may not work for you in one city, you might find in another city, you know?
Yes, it's true. Don't hang around only in Accra, you know, because there is a lot outside, you know, Accra. Very, very, very beautiful countryside to enjoy. And sometimes it's even much cheaper, as you were saying, you know, it's much cheaper. You know, look, I'm a Ghanaian. I've never been to Kumasi. You know,
you've never been to Kumasi?
I've never been to Kumasi.
Man, get out of here!
Yes, the first time I left Ghana about 35 years ago. I do go back often. I try to go back every year if I can. You know, the first time I was in Elmina and Cape Coast was about 12 years ago. You know, and I was there visiting. So I took my family there. We went to the castles and the dungeons and everything. So yeah, the people shouldn't make a look. The Netherlands is not a very, very big country. I am a consultant, and when I used to do my consultancy, I drive around a lot, but I still haven't seen every part of the Netherlands. Yeah. So the same as it's also in Ghana. Ghana is a very big country.
Do you get pressure from your family or others because you live outside of Africa, and they're like, "Why are you there in the Western world? Why, you know,
no,
and all that you have to the motherland."
Yeah, no, not my family. We are very dispersed around the world. We have family members in Europe, the US, all around. You know. So you know that most Ghanaian families have a family member outside. You know, that is just part of Ghanaian culture.
Yeah.
You know, so in our family now, that's not an issue.
Now, you ain't got to answer this question, but you said you're married. Is your wife Ghanaian?
My wife is a Dutch.
She's Dutch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Which then explains why your family don't want to leave.
Yeah. No. We actually, a couple of years ago, we were in Ghana scouting if we could reallocate. Yeah. And back those days was when we were in the nightmare of the lights going off very often, So it was uncomfortable. My house was partially finished and things like that, So it wasn't the right moment. We have a new property coming up and they will enjoy it, But okay, the kids are in school and things like that. So they have their friends over here and things like that, So, and my family is a little bit young, so I also want to be around. So, but okay, I will take the opportunity to run away from time to time if it wasn't covered. So.
Yeah. So okay then. Well, I really appreciate the conversation with you and all.
Sure.
Hopefully, the audience have gained some information and knowledge about Ghana and the way that it is, because a lot of people that I'm hearing, and you've seen the videos on a couple of people who are having, I call it a culture shock experience, are not realizing that it's going to take a time to adjust when changing and moving into a different country. Sure. And finding those things, those accommodations, and those places that you like to frequent back in the country you come from, may take that time, as well as trying to connect with people and areas that might be conducive to your way of life.
Yes, yes.
It just does not happen overnight.
Yes. Let me add one other thing. Look.
Yeah, go ahead.
When the Europeans moved over and went to the new continent, America, to build it, look, or whatever, let's put the politics aside, it was a harsh place, So we in Africa, we are trying to build Africa now, we are trying to build Africa now. It's going to take time to make it to be what we want it to be. And Africa is going to be great, because just like we skipped over the landlines and went over to a mobile telephony, that's how we are going to use technology because the technology we are going to introduce in Africa is going to be the latest, So Africa is going to be built and be great. The issue is, are you going to be part? Because you were mentioning earlier on, somebody was saying that, look, property prices in Accra is going up because people are coming in, And the 25 years from now, just like China, 25 years from now, Africa will be a changed environment. And are you going to be part of it? Do you own a property over there and things like that? So people shouldn't look at the conditions today and be disappointed. It's part of it, Look, let's look at the brighter part of what we are going to build it to be, and be part of that. The reward is going to be great for those that make the effort. But again, don't sacrifice yourself and go there. Prepare yourself, go there. It should be your choice that you want to be part of that building process. And if you have made that decision, I think people who have made that decision, they find it easy to settle. If you are not prepared, and just like the other couple got a culture shock, and then the expression, the way they express it, yes, that was a little bit harsh to some people. Initially I looked at it and I went, whoa, what is this? And later on, I kind of looked at a couple of other videos and I said, look, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy.
Yeah.
Brother, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Yeah.
You take care, and much success to you and yours.
Yes.
And hopefully, hey, who knows? I might run into one of your family members down there.
Yes. And have a nice time when you travel to Ghana in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
okay.
right.
Talk to you.
All right. Talk to you.
All right.
Well, I hope everybody was able to gain some information. I'll bring somebody else on in here, and we're gonna see what they got to say here. a couple more calls we will have left. But yeah, Africa is different in its own way, and it has its. I would say it has its goods, positives, and its negatives. You know.
Yeah.
And so it's all. That's one thing I had to learn when I was in the military, and I've been stationed around a lot of places. That it's what you make of it. It's really what you make of it. Yeah. You can make it bad or you can make it good.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I mean, it's that thing that where wherever your mindset is placed on, if you want to focus on just negative, that's where you'll be. Yes. If you can open up and be focused on positive, that's where you'll be.
Yes.
You know.
You see, whenever I go back home, all I see is opportunities. You know, I mean, every problem is an opportunity. It's just how you look at. Some people look at it. Oh, I want the road fixed and everything. Of course, I also want the road fixed. But why the roads are not being fixed? I mean, I do know, you know, why we have so many potholes, or some of the roads are potholes in Ghana.
Because the only reason was because I only pay $500 a year on taxes for an acre lot with a 6,000 square foot home, and nobody else nobody's paying taxes.
That is part of the problem. But you also see that when you look at the asphalt on the road, it's about 1 centimeter thick. You know, okay. So when you have a 1 centimeter thick asphalt, when heavy trucks goes over it, it's going to crack. An asphalt is supposed to be 8 to 13 centimeters thick, and it is supposed to be layered in different, you know, about 3 different layers when it is being constructed. So these contractors, we the citizens, tax money is used to pay for this road construction. And then they come and then they put a centimeter asphalt on the road, you know, and then they get paid their contract money and they disappear. And in, you know, less than a year, you see the road starts to crack, you know. So you can do an experiment. You just go and see the roads that are in good condition, cut it and see how thick the asphalt is. You will see it. And then you see where the roads are cracked. You will just see that, oh, it's a 1 centimeter asphalt. So these are some of the things that, are issues, are issues, So it's not that Ghana doesn't have engineers. Ghana have engineers, a lot of them, but why someone is paid to construct a road and the person does that, whoever inspects that work approves it in that condition. And the other thing I probably you will also ask them, okay, so if the contractor did the road and in 8 months the road starts to break up, I mean, somebody should come up and say, my friend, you did this road, what is the guarantee? It was supposed to last, what, 25, 10 years, and it isn't. Well, you have to go back and fix it. In the Netherlands, that's what they will do.
Yeah.
You will have to go back and fix it, So that is not done. So the check and balances sometimes, and then when you come from the West and you see that, and sometimes people get a shock and say, why is this happening? And this, So but we need everybody. We need all these disciplines to come in and help us fix those things and correct the, whatever it is to be done. Brother, I give the opportunity to somebody else.
Thank you very much. You take care.
Up to you. Bye.
All right. Rohaya. Hello. Well, anyway, folks, I hope that y'all enjoyed that because it was just a good insight. Rohaya.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing fine. What you got? What you got to say about this?
I have a lot of things to talk about today. I'm a young Gambian. I was born in America, but I left here when I was pretty young. My dad is a Gambian, so I was raised in the Gambia. I moved to America 2 years ago. after I graduated high school. So I have a lot to talk about. I was even thinking of opening a YouTube channel because I've been seeing a lot of stuff that is going on that is not right. And it's kind of like, okay, when I just moved here, I had a culture shock, but that didn't lead me to like opening a YouTube channel, talking, insulting American people, and a whole lot of stuff. Like there are ways to do stuff, and there are ways to talk about stuff, like using respect, being respectful. So you cannot go into someone's home and then tell that person, you have to clean this. Oh, this is so dirty. You have to do this. You don't do that. You try to say it in a like, indirect manner, like try to be polite. Don't just stand there. Like I was watching Art Kati, like I follow Blackexpat of the Gambia and a whole lot of people. Like what they're doing is nice. Like I respect it. I respect a whole lot of things that they're doing. But the thing is, you cannot just move to Africa at your breaking point. When you're breaking in America, going to Africa and trying to fix things and trying to like invest while you know that you're already broken. I know for a fact a whole lot of things that they're doing and the money that they're using to build stuff is from the donations. Because the way they depend on the donations is just unbelievable. Like we're keeping our like eyes on it because it's not normal. Like every time we talk about something, donate this, donate that, and if you don't donate, I notice for a fact if no one donates, nothing is moving nowhere, no one is building. Because it's like they're depending on it. There are ways to tell people to donate, but not every time. The way they do things is like, okay, it's true. Gambia is a poor country. It is. I accept it. But the thing is, we love one another. We have peace. Africa is a very peaceful place. Like I used to live in Africa my whole life. No one used to talk about Gambia this much as now. Now everybody knows Gambia. Even where I work at, they're like, girl, I thought you said you were from Gambia. I said, yes. They said, oh, is it that place everyone is talking about? I'm like, really? Wow. Like, and the thing is, Gambia is being known in a negative way. Because there are ways to like praise like things. Obviously, when it comes to Blackexpat of the Gambia, all they talk about is positive sides of the Gambia, which is not normal. Because everything in Gambia cannot be perfect. You cannot be nice. I even observed that when they're interviewing people and someone tries to say something negative, they'll be like, oh, no, it's not that. It's not all of it, trying to cover up things, which is not normal. And when it comes to Art Kati, she says some really like things that are right, but the way she says it is disrespectful and it's against her culture. When you come to someone's home, you have to respect where they're from and how they came about. Like we used to, like you heard about Gambia before and about our old president and a whole lot of stuff. Like everybody did. So you have to know, obviously a lot of people are traumatized by that. There's a whole lot of things going on. Like when I just moved here and I started seeing people eating KFC with like some syrup or something, I was like, what? Really? Because I would not eat that. I find it so disgusting. Just like the same way we eat noodles and bread. Like the place we're brought up in, we got used to that system. People grew up in that environment, living that way. So we see it as something nice, something so good. So when I came here and I saw a whole lot of things that is so different. I even wrote a paper about the unknown side of Africa. And all my like people in my school were so surprised because they never knew that was Africa. And I always keep saying, like, I even tell my white friends, like, have you ever asked yourself this? Why do they always show the negative sides of Africa on the media? Why not the positive sides? But when it comes to Africa, they won't show the hoods, the bad places, the dirty slums. No, they will never show that part if you don't find it out on your own or if you don't go check it out. Like, it does not make sense. And when I told her that, she told me that doesn't make sense. And when I just came here, some guy told me, do we live on trees? Like, I'm like, really? So because I'm from Africa, I live on trees. Like, how does that sound? Like, we're human beings. We have mothers. We have loved ones, we have siblings, we have grandparents like everyone does. Like, you know, it hurts me a lot seeing these things, and especially these things coming from Black people. That, like, I agree with Arkati. Like, this lady hurts me a lot, and a lot of things that she says, I will be very honest, I don't like it. It's true, they're facts, but there are ways to say facts. The truth hurts. It hurts everyone. But the thing is, there are ways to say it, and when you're planning on changing a place, you cannot change Gambia just like that. Change it. I don't believe in talking and words. Do it so that people can see it. That is what I believe in, because talking, everyone can talk. I can even open a YouTube channel. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But the thing is, where is it? Do it so that people can believe it. It's obvious. The reason why they need the YouTube is for the money, to do it and then make more money. So, you know, it's only common sense. Like, a lot of things that they do, like Gambia, it's right. Just like any other place, like every place have bad apples anywhere you go in this world. And Gambia is a small place. It's the smallest country in Africa. What do you expect? What do you expect? Like, it's just so mind-blowing. And the thing that hurts me the most is I notice a lot of people compare the dollars with the dollases. Gambian money and American dollars. Like, they have to know the cost of living in Gambia is way cheaper than the cost of living in America. Yeah. Like, when I just moved here, I've never seen this much bills in my life until I moved to America.
You said bills?
And every little thing is bills, taxes. Yeah. I was confused. I was like, what do I do? And the thing, they have to know that. Like, a lot of people have to know that. And, you know, it's just a whole lot of crazy stuff that is not known, but like African people don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of African people trying to travel. Like, if they call me and they're like, you're just enjoying, like, out there is so nice. I'm like, no, it's not what you think. Like, I can't wait to graduate and go back. I'm trying to go back, invest in my country, and just make it a better place. And you can change something without talking. Just change it. Are you doing it for the people?
Is that how you pronounce your name, Rohia?
Rohia.
Rohia. Let me ask you this right here, because people are listening in and stuff, and being, like you said, that Gambia is a hot topic now. What would you tell people, those things that they can enjoy, or those things they should be aware of, or just it's just a way of life there in Gambia? How would you be able to ease the conscience of those who now are really thinking about not going over there because of maybe some of the negative talks like you were talking about? What would you have to say about your country that, one, you might be proud of, and the things that people can go and enjoy, or, you know, settle in and get in and fit in? What would you say?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, when it comes to Gambia, I've never seen like a country that is so kind and giving like Gambia. I'll be very honest. Everywhere you go in Gambia, people call you to eat. If it's time for lunch, you're walking around the streets, everyone is like, come eat, come eat. Like, do you want something to eat? And when I just moved here, it's like my own friends, I was sitting with them and they didn't even tell me, do you want some? Ever. And Gambia is just so giving and so quiet and so peaceful. The beaches out there is just so beautiful. Like, the state I live in, I've been here for 2 years. I've not even seen a beach. I don't even know how American beaches look like. There's none. But in Gambia, you just have to walk from your house to the beach if you live close to it. And everything is, it's true, it's cheap. Everything is cheap in the Gambia because of the cost of living is cheap. You have to expect it. And someone coming from America and changing dollars to dollases, obviously it'll be a whole lot. You can enjoy, you can get a whole lot of stuff. And I think the problem with Art Kati, and let me be honest, when I was living in Gambia, I was living the best time, like I was living in the best time of my life. Like, what I had in the Gambia and what I have now is totally different, depending on where your pocket is at. If you're rich in the Gambia, you can have your own driver, your own car. You won't even care about the muddy roads because you have everything you want. You don't even have to care about.
No, I gotta concentrate on two conversations.
and like when, like, for example, for me, when I was living in Gambia, I was 17 when I had my first car, and I used to go to Sibek International School, where the Black Acres of the Gambia's kids are. The international school, this is where I went. Like, you can live comfortably in Gambia. It's true the light goes off and on, but you know what that taught me? It taught me to love my family and people close to me. Because anytime light goes off, then I have my family to talk with. We talk about stuff, we laugh, like it's normal to us. Like that is a time we get to spend with our families. Because it's a bad thing having light like cut off like every 3 hours or stuff like that. It's not good, but it did help me to grow, like, and it taught me a whole lot about life. Because in America, like, I've been to my cousin's house, my friend's house. Everyone is on their phone. They don't even have time for their moms. They barely even care about, how are you doing, mom? How was work? How was this? But in Gambia, it's different. Let me tell you, when I just came here and I went to Walmart this one day and some little kid was shouting at her mom, I was like, what the heck? Like, if you want to, like, I could have grown up, I could have been brought up in America, but the reason why they chose to take me to the Gambia is because it brought me, like, it just taught me a lot about life, and it just taught me a lot about, let me tell you this. I think I'm talking about a whole lot of stuff because I have a whole lot to talk about. When you're in Gambia,
I'm gonna give you a minute or so, and we're gonna let Muhammad in here in a second, okay?
All right.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Finish what you're saying though. So it taught you a whole lot coming here to America, Rohaya.
Yes, it did. It taught me a whole lot. Because the first day of school, like in Gambia, usually the first day of school, if being a foreigner or wherever you're from, everyone welcomes you. Everyone wants to talk to you. Hi, where are you from? Are you from this place? Like, you look so beautiful. And the first day I came here, my first day of school, I had to make my own friends. No one talked to me. I made friends because when they saw me, they thought I was from the islands because I'm mixed. I'm light skinned. So they thought I was from the islands or I was from some other place. And some of the people that I met, when they heard that I'm from Africa, they no more talked with me again, ever. They stopped talking to me. It hurt me a whole lot because back home, we don't have that in Africa. We love one another. When you disrespect us, that is when we will disrespect you. Because the thing is, we can have a lot of arguments between one another like every other place. But when it comes to fighting for our people, we always do it. It's true, we might be poor, we might not have much, but we have one another at the end of the day. And
so what I'm hearing you saying, so not to cut you short, but what I'm hearing you saying is that there's a strong family network that's going on in Gambia.
There is.
What you've learned here is that there's a family distancing that happens here in America. The family is broken, and whereas in Gambia it's a very close knit. So
yes, there is a very close knit.
I appreciate all that you say, and I think you shed some light on Gambia from what people maybe have heard from other people. And I appreciate your talk. And we're going to move on to Muhammad. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All righty. Muhammad, what you got for me, man?
How are you, my brother?
All right. How are you?
I'm good. I like your title, man. Go Black to Africa.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So yeah, like I've been watching a lot of YouTubes now and so much is going on. And one thing that people fail to understand is Africa is so big and so diverse. It has its own culture. And the way everything evolves from Africa is people try to survive and look ways to, live life. So like a country, you can see like Kenya has about 46 counties. Now they call it counties, which is just how they try to divide the government and make sure that
where you from?
I was born and raised in Kenya.
Okay.
So my father is from Ethiopia and my mother is from Somalia.
I see both in you. Yeah, I do see both.
Yeah, and right now it's been like 5 years now and I moved to Canada in Alberta. So Yeah, I've been to Uganda. I traveled like 2 years ago. Been back to Kenya like twice. I think now in East Africa they have what we call a multiple entry. So Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda. You can actually travel those three countries at the same time with just a single visa.
Yeah.
So they're trying to change things, but people don't understand. Like they expect Africa to actually, like some part of Africa to actually be, equal to Western worlds, because you have to understand African history. Almost all of the countries are just 60 to 50 years old.
Yep.
That means trying to modernize themselves. But before that, everybody was living in a rural way. We have our own tradition. We have so many tribes. They have their own languages. The way you can go to, and the way they feel like it's so different. Two tribes can live together side by side. They have different languages and their way of life is different. And how they feel about each other is like a white man and a black man.
Yeah.
Because now me, when I was living there, I never knew there was a black race and then white race. When I was there, I knew this one is England, this one is America, and we I'm from Somalia and he is from this tribe. That's how we were different. So when I came here, I understood that there's something called black, and if you're black, you and I understand that now. There's some, when you come to Western world, you will understand the black, there is a black race. So this actually made me to do a lot of research on our African histories and all the things that we went through. So you have to understand that when you want to go to Africa, you just have to first, learn small things, especially how the government works, so that you can know what services you can get from the government, and then the culture of the people, what kind of cultures do they have, how do they live. Now, in the capital cities, all of them, they mimic the Western world. They're trying to, develop things really fast. But if you go past the capital city, if you go to the rural areas, it's completely different. So when you travel, if you're a person that like metro places, like metro cities, big cities, with these things, you can go to the capital cities. That's where you can find everything. But if you're a person that likes to live like nomadic, life, like keeping animals, farming and all this, you have to go to the rural. So and I was seeing what's going on with Gambia. Is not good. People posting insulting Africans. I know we're not educated on English.
You're educated. What are you talking about?
She was saying that. I'm like, no, we don't know how to speak English the way the Western are. But if you learn their language and try to understand what they're saying, you will know they're not stupid. So it's just a language barrier, and people think, no, they're poor and they don't understand anything. No, they just don't speak English. That's it.
Speak your language. That's all it is.
They speak their own language. If you want to know if he's stupid or not, you have to speak his language and then try and see what he knows.
Yeah.
So, and this Pan-African things, especially now, if you look, West Africa are following that footstep of allowing Americans to, Black Americans to come back and, settle, get a citizenship easily. There was a lady that in Ethiopia, the first lady, African American, who got a citizenship, the first ever, and she was fighting it for 5 years in Ethiopia. Yeah.
What year did she get it?
I think she got it around 2016, if I'm not wrong. I think her mother's side, she's Ethiopian, but her parents, Black Americans in the United States, and she moved there. It was on the news, and after 5 years, they gave her.
Well, because the Rastamans down there in Ethiopia, what's the town?
Shashamane.
Yeah, Shashaman, whatever how you pronounce it.
That land
citizenship all these years, though, they say.
Yeah, that land was given by the emperor.
Yeah.
So the emperor gave it when he visited Jamaica.
Yeah.
He told them, if you need a place, I'm going to give you a place there. So he gave them that place, and it's always been reserved like that. There's a lot of Jamaicans that go there.
Yep. Yeah.
But with the government, you have to understand. Now, I was hearing this guy talking about taxes. This is how it is. Taxes, we don't understand it. And if people start paying taxes, it is going to backfire because government are not delivering service the way they're supposed to. And African people, one thing you have to understand, if they give you something so that they're going to get something back, now they're going to demand it.
Yeah.
And then we have what we call tribal issues. So you will find that governments, like the ruling party, will always hire or get their own back or their own tribes.
So you're saying in Kenya, they don't necessarily have taxes.
They do have taxes, but it's for businesses.
Okay.
Business mostly is for businesses and other, multinational companies and corporates that come in and do businesses there. But like here in Canada, we have what we call what is it? Income taxes.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't do income taxes there.
Okay.
And then we have
that too, because I mean, you're right. Here in America, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm paying 40%, man, in tax of my money that I get. 40% of it goes straight to federal, right? You got state taxes, right? You got sales tax, right? Property tax. Then you got taxes that you got to pay on your vehicle. You know, it goes on.
Yeah, and it works here. It works because they designed the system from the beginning. So they designed it in such a way that money comes back to you in services like road, electricity, and all this. They subsidize companies when they're even failing. So actually, the money that they're collecting, it's going back to their, the society properly. But Africa is not designed like that.
Yeah,
Africa is not designed like that. It's gonna. Even with like now, I was hearing resources. We have a lot of resources. The problem is we don't know those resources.
Yeah.
You know, these researching companies that send people and come and do research on the land, and then they find out what the land has, and they don't tell the government. So what they do is they propose the government that we're going to buy that part of the land.
Yeah.
The government doesn't know what's there, and they just sell it, or they rent it out. They give it a lease for 99 years, and then that company will start drilling in that, in that land.
Yeah.
So now the government just took that money, and that money doesn't go back to the society, because that money is something of the government. It's just on the side thing that came in, so it will actually go into their pocket.
They're waking up, though. They're waking up, and this younger generation now, they see, man, these Europeans and Chinamans are making off the land and the soil. It's changed, man.
With the internet, it's changing.
It's changing huge with the internet.
Internet now, everybody's tuned into the internet, Facebook, and all these people are getting information. So whatever you say about everything, it comes on the internet, and everybody's going to find out quickly.
Let me get real quick, Muhammad, real quick. Hold that thought. Let me get to Hadian Way.
Hadian Way.
Hadian Way.
Hadian Way from Star Wars.
Hadian Way.
From Star Wars. If anybody knows Star Wars.
Yeah.
I agree with what the brother is saying. He's definitely dropping some knowledge about language as well. If you want to judge somebody's intellectual capability, you must be able to speak his language and all that. In Africa, and we speak European languages, so our education systems are European. You understand? So in that sense, is that when judging your intellectual capacities in a language of another man, for instance, you can never speak English better than the English person. So the English person will always come out seeming as he's more intelligent than you, because you're using his language as a judgment of your intellect. You understand what I mean? In Africa, whoever can speak the most English sounds more intelligent. It's down to your language is just a means of conveying information as well. You understand what I mean? Now I commend the English language, because the English language has been evolved over time and accommodated so many other languages and expressions to become what it is, as a language of business and information. So it's a very, very good language. But that doesn't mean you should judge somebody's intellect based on that. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Regarding the issue with Black Americans being in danger in Gambia, I don't think Black Americans are in danger at all in Gambia. You understand? I think Atkati and our cohort have not done very well in terms of PR in Gambia as well. They have not done very well over there. I think they've made African Americans stand out in a very, very negative way.
Yeah.
You understand? So people have opinions, but what needs to be done is needs to be discussed. It needs to be addressed. Like they cannot have comments like that. People need to discuss it and address so that people can see, Gambians can see both sides or something. Otherwise, if things are left onto that way, it's just going to be bad. I am no fan of Art Kafi. I will tell you, I am no fan of her. I don't like I don't like that lady. I know you try to I watch you try to manage it. But I'm telling you, brother, those people are not good eggs. They're bad actors. You understand what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, and the thing with moving to Africa, a lot of people think that you want to move to Africa, you're gonna change something. You're not gonna change anything overnight.
I'm telling you.
Even in 1 year or 2 years, you're not gonna change anything.
The fact is,
the system we lived with it. Even our government, they can't even change it just quickly like that. So
here's what I gotta say. Here's what I really gotta say. People are complaining so much about China, right? They're complaining so much about China, but they don't know that China is not only operating in Africa, it's all over the world. You understand? China is all over the world. What China is trying to do, they are trying to decentralize the global market from the west to the east. You understand what I mean? Because the global market right now is focused in the west between the economies of Europe and America. So China want to reel that power back into how we use the old Silk Road. You understand what I mean? And what they're doing, they're helping other poorer countries so that they can industrialize their countries, so that they can have options to trade with those countries as well. Because if the West decides to sanction China, China needs other options to go and trade with. You understand? That's what China is trying to do, so that to help Africa to develop their industrial capability. You understand? It's not necessarily a help. It's an opportunity. It's Africans that have to choose that opportunity correctly, and they have to negotiate better. If you stop, the fact is, Black Americans don't have the money needed to build the infrastructure in Africa. Africans in the diaspora don't have the money needed to build the infrastructure or the technical capabilities. And the Chinese are going around the world offering this as a service, just as the British sell education around the world. You know what I mean? Every country has something that it trades around the world. And infrastructure development is what China is selling around the world.
Yeah.
You understand?
Here's one thing African American they can capitalize on. That is very important. They don't have to have the money.
Yeah.
But information is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have lived here in America and they know every system, how it works.
Yeah.
They can actually go back to Africa and lands are cheap. You can buy a plot, which is 50 by 100 plots.
Yes. In terms of private
build
business.
yourself a house and you can be a consultant to big companies.
In terms of private business.
Yes. You can create your own business easily and you try to grow and you mentor Africans, because Africans do not have that information of how other worlds and how the economic works outside of them.
Yeah.
So this
but in terms of building the infrastructure necessary to let economies drive, like roads, railways, look at the Ghanaian president. He's as patriotic as ever, but he's working with Chinese to build the railroads that African Americans will eventually enjoy when they build their businesses. You need this infrastructure for your businesses to scale up. You understand? Which African Americans are rich enough coming back to build railroads, to build fiber optic, to build airlines and all that stuff? I mean, it will be good. It will be good to have that. But I know African Americans will be coming for private business. They can do private business. But unless they come together and put their money together and take on a project, or like I say, building a railroad, then if you put your money together, then you can probably do something. But as individuals, we are private. We can get very high in private business. Sorry, my friend. Go on, Mohammed.
Yeah, I think it's information. What Africa is lacking is information, you know, and we never been into the this world economy, you know, this globalization that is working. We have never participated in it from the beginning up to now. Just trying to enter it. So it's because we don't have the knowledge and the information and how to do and go about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Other like China is coming into Africa now. Here, what they do, they offer one, they give you whatever you like, project you want to build. Let's say you want to build railway, they will offer you that, credit to build the railway.
Yeah.
And then they will also give you on top of that incentive.
Yes. Yes.
And they will agree and sign quickly. And then in return, what China wants is to build bases there. They want to operate from there. So what they do is this: they will send their workers and they will come and work there.
Yes, that's the part of the relationship.
Yeah,
that's the part of the relationship that has always been. That's the part of the relationship that has always been. But recently,
that's what they're showing. Yeah.
some heads of state have realized that, and they've started to change that and renegotiate better. Which means if you're going to bring Chinese workers, you must also employ half African workers, half and half, so that the knowledge transfer can happen. You see, that was always a problem. And it's up to African leaders themselves to know the true value. The value of the money is the resources. If you know the true value of the resources, then you trade them at the right price. But they don't do that. But some of them are starting to realize, it's not all the African leaders. Some of them are starting to realize it's a very, 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 very dangerous world and very, very manipulative world. You really need to know how to navigate around. You understand what I mean?
You have to understand how they operate.
So let me say this, because I want to get back on the track of the subject of the matter, and that is that this push for Africa by Pan-Africanism and for others to go to Africa.
Yeah.
That there are those who feel as though that maybe they're getting pressure or getting ostracized or ridiculed if they're not utilizing their blackness to go back to the motherland. There are people who are going back and being surprised or having culture shock. What do you say to those?
Okay.
To the organization?
Okay.
The Pan-African organizations?
No, it's just a movement amongst people right now here in America.
Let me say something. Mohammed, let me say something.
Okay, good.
Pan-Africanism, it was the political ideology that gave us independence, right? It was a political ideology that Marcus Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, even Malcolm X, to the point, all that they all rode on that. You understand what I mean? It was a political ideology, and it's a very, very necessary political ideology. Now, nobody is being forced. You're not supposed to feel forced. Nobody's being forced. What is being said is we have to develop Africa, because if Africa remains poor that way, that is a reflection on all black people all around the world. Black people will not get any respect in the world if their home is in disarray like that. You understand what I mean? Everybody will treat us less.
Where are you from?
I'm from Africa.
I mean, what part?
I'm from Guinea-Bissau.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Guinea-Bissau. You understand? That's what. So what's it? All Africa, if as long as Africa is like that, Black Americans wouldn't be getting any respect anytime soon. Even if they go to Japan or China, they will always be classed as second-class citizens or given charity citizenship. You understand what I mean? So Africa must be developed. We're not forcing anyone. It's more like what you can do to contribute to develop a continent. Europeans are rushing to do that. Chinese are rushing to do that. Everybody is rushing to rapidly develop this continent, and they're in it for their own benefit. You understand what I mean? What will be asked at the end of the day is, what did black people ever do in this world to achieve? What did we ever do? Even when it came to Africa, some people had to come and develop it for us. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we have to contribute. It's not necessarily your force. What you can contribute, you have to go back and contribute. So that way, because you see these racist people keep asking that question all the time. What did you black people ever achieve in this world? This is an opportunity to develop our own continent ourselves. You know what I mean? With regards to the Chinese, let me tell you, the Bag family, many people, they complain about China. But then they go back to the Chinese man to get equipment to go and do their work in the Bag family. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing too. Here's the thing. They complain about China, but here in America, China man is everywhere.
China man is everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Every Black American, any Black American that's going to Africa to start a business, if they are small business and they want to get equipment to start business, they can't get it from Europe or America. They have to look to Chinese to get cheap Chinese stuff that is going to work for them.
So,
That's what's going to happen. Because if they try to get European stuff and American stuff, that's going to be very, very expensive. And it's not within the budget. So they have to get the Chinese stuff. So China is unavoidable. We have to learn to deal and work with them. You understand what I mean?
So what you're saying basically is, because we're going to wind this down here in a minute, is that for those who have an interest in going to Africa, whether to visit, whether to live, you know, the saying is, that, come back to help build Africa.
That's what is happening.
It's
So before you try to move to Africa, the best thing to do is you first travel and see, and it's 54 countries. You have to first do your researches and try to see which country fits, with the things you love and the things you want to do. So go there and visit. It's easy. You can go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, try and see how things are there. And then later on, you can make the decision whether you want to move and build there, So with this, we have to keep pushing this African agenda. It's really important. This is
necessary for
the only
people
opportunity that we got on the internet to push it. This is the first time it has been done because, we had this news broadcasting system. You never see pushing for African going back or Pan-African, moving back to Africa. Never. It's never been done. Now YouTubers are trying to push it. So
Are you going back, Mohammed?
Yes, I am on the 5th.
Can I say
November
something? Can I
5th,
say something?
My father is going back to.
You have your way to your speak in 1 sec, please. We're gonna finish up with Mohammed, and then you'll be last.
So we just bought a ticket for my father. So he just bought a land in Ethiopia now. So I'll be sending him first, and then probably next year around March I'll try to travel.
Nice.
And there's a lot of opportunities, especially with farming. If you have enough money, you can do cable system, especially internet. We only have, like, Kenya is the biggest. They have Safaricom and other corporates that do internet very easily, and it's not cheap also. It's it's medium pay, but it's better than most of other areas that you see. And reason why Kenya is like that is because of South Africa.
Right. So I appreciate it. And my man left, I guess. He dropped off. So basically, hey, I appreciate you, Mohammed, and the kind words left to people. And yes, I'd like to say to the people that are listening that, before you go to Africa, do your homework. And we got my man back. So go ahead.
So, you see the thing how the nomadic family they were doing. I watched the YouTube too. The one in Rwanda. So they visited first. They seen it. Now they're trying to settle within Rwanda. And you have to look at this. Some countries are easy for foreigners to get citizenship and get document, and some other Africans are still not into that level. So if you look at from East Africa, Rwanda is number one. It is. Ethiopia is not that easy. You can get residential to live in the country and do whatever you want, but citizenship is not. Even the whole of the country, half of the population doesn't have citizenship. If you ask, typical African, do you have a passport or do you have a citizenship? He knows he's Kenyan, but he doesn't have the document that shows he's Kenyan. But so you have to understand the system, how it works. And you have to choose out of all these countries where you're going to visit. And don't visit just one place. Like if you want to visit 3 countries, the easiest way, go to Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya. Those are the 3 countries you can do with single.
Appreciate you, Mohammed. And
all right, brother.
Farewell to you. And then we're going to leave it up to my man, the last one.
Thank you, Mohammed. I agree with you a lot as well. But brother, what I'm saying is, Gambia is a small country, right? Gambia is a small country. I'm from Guinea-Bissau, but I want to buy land in Gambia, Senegal, and Guinea. So you have to leave some for me as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can see. So I encourage any African American to go to another country and buy land in other African countries. Gambia is too small,
Yeah.
So the idea is there's other places in Africa. And anybody that's promoting other countries in Africa, you don't have to necessarily slag off Gambia, because Gambia is just a small country. But it's a very touristy area, very laid back area and all that stuff. That's what it's for. If you want business, you have to go to places where there is a big market like Nigeria. If you really are serious about business, you have to go to where the population, because people are money. And if people are there, that's where you will make your money. If people are not there, you will not make your money. Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, this is where the money is. You understand what I mean? But if you want to not have competition, then you can be laid back in the country and just do your small business as you go. Now, this is what I'm gonna say about what happens. Black cooperation is necessary. You understand? Black people cooperate, showing black people working hard and succeeding together, mutually going into business together and succeeding is necessary. But when such positive things comes about for black people, you start to see the bad actors coming, like African presidents, stooges, puppets, coming out to show that disunity, like what happened with Kathy and this. I don't know the entire story, if it's true or not. You understand what I mean? But this will just goes to show, like, other black people say, I'm not going to invest with this other black person because we tend to steal from each other. We tend to steal from each other. We tend to take away from each other and all that stuff. So it makes people not wanna trust other black people in business. So what Kathy and Kwesi, if it's true, what they have done, it shows a bad precedent entirely. You understand what I mean?
Yep, I hear you. And hey, I'm about to go ahead and call this to an end here, and I appreciate each and every one of you all.
No, let me say one more thing.
You got 30 seconds, bro.
All right. People are chatting so much shit about China, but the fact is, it's Donald Trump's America that's pushing this propaganda war against China. You understand what I mean? China helped African countries gain independence.
Hey, I don't want to get in that politics.
You understand? Any person that wants to start a small business in Africa will go to the Chinese truck.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So hey, you have my contact. If you need a lot of information about Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and even Somalia, if you do, and if you guys are visiting on that side, if you just push or send me an email, if I'm there, I might help you out. You know, I might help other people who are interested too. All right.
All right now.
Thank you, brother.
All right.